Hello everybody, welcome back. I am TheChornick. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go over the Elder Scrolls 6 theory series. Yes, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Yokuda, the Yokuda, the whatever you want to call it, the island, the huge continent to the west of Tamriel. Now, this continent was once home to the Red Guards. They were once called the Yokudans, but, you know, the people of Tamriel are now calling them Red Guards. They're technically the same thing, just little cultural differences here and there, so please don't get confused when I might, you know, switch up the names between the Red Guards and the Yokudans. They're pretty much the same thing, so I apologize if I go back and forth between the names, but they're the same, technically the same thing, just like cultural differences here and there. The Red Guards are what they are now, and the Yokudans is what they were then, but hopefully you guys won't get mixed up from what I say there. But anyway, guys, by the way, before I start this video, I like to say that we were winding down on Season 2 of the Elder Scrolls of my theory series here. I believe that Bethesda is going to announce something big at E3 2015, that they're going to probably announce the Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 4 or whatever big project they're working on. If they do announce the Elder Scrolls 6 is what I'm really hoping for, but if they do announce it, then obviously I'll be doing theory videos. I'll be basing my Season 3 over that. But if not, I'll probably decide to do more smaller videos, more specific videos, and theories about Elder Scrolls. Probably maybe like a 5-minute video instead of like a bigger video like my past two seasons have been. Past two seasons have been more broader topics, but hopefully I could go and do a little bit more specific topics for Season 3 of my Elder Scrolls 6 series. But yeah, we're winding down here. This is like the 15th video of the Season 2. This is about Yokuda, and we're gonna go over all the continents, and then the final video of Season 2, this Season 2 finale, is basically I'm gonna say everything that I really hope for the next game will have, and that it will be like in all the little different aspects that I want in the game. Like, it's gonna be a master video pretty much about everything that I personally hope for, so I hope you guys will enjoy. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and now let's begin. So what do you think about when you think about Yokuda? You know, generally people, you know, fans of the Elder Scrolls, they'll generally think about, oh, Yokuda's that island, that continent left of Tamriel. It's that, you know, place where the Red Guards came from. You know, it's a place that's now destroyed and no longer exists. That's basically the gist of what a lot of people think about when they think about a Yokuda. It's just that, you know, continent, that land forgotten to the west of Tamriel. You know, and that's basically the gist of what people know about. Now, there isn't really much to know about Yokuda at the moment. There isn't really much history about it. But, you know, there is some history still known. There is some backstory to it, and I will quickly go over that in this video, and we'll make our predictions off of that. So first we're going to talk about the Yokudans. The Yokudans were a cultural and religious people. They had a lot of politics and warfare on their land of Yokuda. And there was also these couple other races. They weren't actually the only race there, is what a lot of people think, is that the Red Guards, the Yokudans, a lot of people think they were just one race on that continent. However, obviously that's not the case. According to a lot of Bethesda lore, there's always another race, now isn't there? Now there's two other races. There is the left-handed elves, which is some sort of Aldmeris elven race. Yeah, they're actually nicknamed that, the left-handed elves. And there are the Ansi, who were rebellious against the Yokudan government. Now, these three races in Yokuda were pretty hostile towards each other. There was a lot of civil war that went on. There was a lot of war that happened in Yokuda back in the day. And that's pretty much what a lot of historians pretty much know about it. I mean, that's the gist of its past that is known, is that there was a lot of war there between the left-handed elves, the Red Guards, aka, you know, the Yokudans, the Ansi. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that word right. But yes, these three races, these three groups of people, like, often had wars against each other. And so, you know, Yokuda was in constant civil war from time to time. But eventually, as a lot of people know, Yokuda eventually just diminished and fell into the sea and was destroyed. Some huge catastrophe happened. Now, Yokuda was also a place where a lot of natural disasters happened. There was a lot of earthquakes, there was a lot of tsunamis, there was like so many like big natural disasters that happened here on this island and on this continent, this giant island, I should say, on this continent. But yeah, there was just so much of this that happened that a lot of people believe that that's the reason why it fell into the seas, just because of, you know, wear and tear and all these natural disasters just keep pounding it, and eventually it just destroyed Yokuda. But the thing is, there's supposed to be like one gigantic one that completely finished it off. Now, the thing that kind of bugs me is that it kind of happened in a really quick period of time. According to like lore and all this stuff, it doesn't really make it clear that it happened over time. It more likely said that it happened all at once, and that the whole continent fell into the sea pretty darn quickly in a short time period. I don't believe it fell all at once. I don't see how that's really logical, but I could see how it might have fell into the sea over maybe a few weeks or whatever that good stuff. But yeah, that's the main theory about why it fell into the sea, is that it was just, you know, all these natural disasters just teared away at the land and eventually just sank the whole freaking thing into the sea. And that's the main theory about it, and that's the most likely and logical theory. Now, the other theory about it is that it had to do with the Ansi, with the rebellious magical swordsmen who rebelled against the Yokudan kingdom multiple times and were pretty much at war with them. Basically, these Ansi had some magical secret techniques which they say that were capable of destroying entire land masses. We were able to destroy like entire like places and all that good stuff. So a lot of people blame it on them for destroying Yokuda. So isn't that interesting? I mean, if you think about it, maybe it wasn't just these earthquakes or natural disasters. Perhaps it was actually this rebellious group of warriors who just took out the entire continent. In my theory, my personal theory about this, I think it was both. Like, when I think about it, I think it would be a better story for Bethesda to have to make it more of an interesting story and say, oh yeah, the Ansi did it. It wasn't just natural disasters. I think it would be better plot-wise if they, you know, had the Ansi do it. The thing is, I believe the Ansi did it, if they did do it, obviously. I believe that they would have done it to get rid of the Yokudans, you know, to get rid of their empire. It is basically to destroy them. But however, a lot of the theory also goes that it actually took out the Ansi with it. So who knows? Maybe the Ansi are still there. Maybe they're on the islands nearby. Who knows? Or maybe they just sank Yokuda entirely, you know, for this reason. However, the thing is, Yokudans actually knew that something was going to happen to the continent, and they already prepared a whole fleet to leave. So this also brings up the question, so did they know the Ansi's plans? Did they know the, you know, did they know about the earthquake, the tsunami, you know, like the natural disasters were finally going to take it like really soon? You know, that's kind of up to debate as well. Like, you know, maybe it was both. Maybe the Ansi actually, like, you know, took advantage of the Yokudans, like the natural disasters that happened in Yokuda, and combined it with their spells and secret techniques, and maybe that's how they destroyed whole entire land masses, was using the natural disasters towards that advantage, towards that technique. And that's why I believe that it was both. It was both causes. So maybe that's what actually happened. So when it finally sank in the first era of 792, well, apparently the left-handed elves all died out. They all went extinct, and the Ansi went extinct as well, or so the lore says. And then the Yokudans, you know, they survived. They left and they went to Hammerfell and became the Red Guards and all that good stuff. And that's how the story unfolds and goes. Also, but according to Anvil residents, is that ships still sail to Yokuda, apparently. And so there's a lot of like theories that go around this, like, is Yokuda actually still there? Did it rise from the sea or something? Well, I believe that it's just that the islands, they might be referring to like the islands that are near the sea, or maybe that it popped out ever since then. There's like, because Yokuda was eventually made out of a whole bunch of land masses, like a whole bunch of land, like little islands. And so eventually, I believe that there's still some islands near there, and that's probably what they're referring to as Yokuda, is like maybe those little land masses were once part of it, because that's what Yokuda was. It was just a landmass with, you know, made up of a bunch of islands. So maybe it's just one of those islands that they're referring to. So, but in some way, it may still exist according to these Anvil residents. Ships still go there. Who knows? Maybe there's people living on these islands, or maybe the ships just go there for merchandise, you know, for resources to bring back to Cyrodiil. But that's something that, you know, is really interesting to think about and all that good stuff. But anyway, in terms of plot, what would happen if Yokuda actually was an Elder Scrolls 6 game, or just a game in the future? What would unfold? Obviously, I think if it was going to be called Yokuda, or something close to it, or if it's going to be placed in technically Yokuda, or around there, obviously I think the continent would have rose, you know, for some reason. And I believe that we'd have some plot based around that, like finding out the mystery about why it rose again. Probably having to do with the Ansi. I believe the Ansi will come back. I believe all the history we would know. We would learn more about the left-handed elves, probably have some DLC with them. That'd probably be a DLC, unless it would be one of the other like main missions. Maybe we find some of the last of the left-handed elves. But yeah, so it's really interesting to think about. So what do you guys think? What do you think the plot would be in the next game? Do you think it will be a war between the Red Guards and the Ansi? Do you think the Red Guards will try to come back and take Yokuda if they found out it rose again? You know, would they have some war with the Ansi if they even found out the Ansi still existed? Or if the left-handed elves even still existed? Do you think the left-handed elves will have anything to do with it? Do you think about, you know, any plot in general? Please post in the comment section below. Next week, guys, I'm going to upload the Aldmeris video probably sometime next week. So if you guys have any theories or information or anything in general in terms of lore or anything that you would like me to post about for that video, please post in the comment section below, and I'll probably put your name in the description video of that video. Description section of that video, if I used a lot of your information for that next video. So if anything about Aldmeris you guys would want me to talk about, I'll go and you know, I'll make sure I look that up and post it in the video. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I highly appreciate it. I'll try to post more theory videos more often, probably, you know, shorten them up once season 3 starts. I know that these are generally bigger topics to go over, but once Season 2's over and once Bethesda has actually revealed what they're going to do, I will decide to go on from what I hear from there, and that will determine Season 3 of the Elder Scrolls 6 Theory series. And thanks, guys, for watching. I highly appreciate you all. I love you all. Peace out! Thank you very much.